So Chris and I are here recreating the position that I was the best at in baseball, and that is left bench. I'm Gary, and this is Coasting with Culture. I like to combine theme park visits and riding roller coasters with various cultural experiences around the world. Previously, I caught up with my friends Joanna and Chris back in Minneapolis, where we began our journey together at the Mall of America. We enjoyed the rides of Nickelodeon Universe, from the log chute to the SpongeBob SquarePants rock bottom plunge. Next, we head into Iowa for a day of baseball, as we'll make a stop in Dyersville for the filming location of the classic movie Field of Dreams. Then we'll continue to the city of Davenport to see a game at Modern Woodmen Park, a minor league baseball stadium that happens to also have a roller coaster. While it was yet another day with several hours of driving, it was nice to be able to have the company of friends along for the ride, and also not to have to handle all the driving on my own. I'd been through Iowa once before on a previous road trip, and this was an opportunity to see more of the state. What I didn't expect to see, though, was a lack of corn. Last time I rode through the state, it was about the same time of the year, and the shucks were already pretty well grown in. Perhaps it was the weather, as there had been a lot of heavy rains that affected the Mississippi River, as we'll discover later in the day. After a few hours, we made it to the filming location of a famous movie.
People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say.
So Chris and I are here recreating the position that I was the best at in baseball, and that is left bench. Along with being able to run the bases of the famous field and to take your picture with the iconic house, you can also purchase souvenirs to commemorate your visit. They even have copies of the famous film.
Is this heaven?
It's Iowa.
So here in the town of Dyersville, Iowa, you get a chance to visit the ball field from the movie Field of Dreams. And one of the really cool things that you'll see, people come here, bring their gloves, their bats, their balls, and just play catch or do a little batting practice on the field. After scoping out the Field of Dreams, it was on to our next stop just under 2 hours away. So we're outside of Modern Woodmen Park here in Davenport, Iowa, alongside the Mississippi River. And one of the really bizarre things about this ballpark is the fact that the river has been flooded for quite some time. Several cities and towns alongside the Mississippi River had been experiencing severe flooding due to a high amount of snowmelt and the heavy rains that were mentioned earlier. While the flooding had begun back in mid-March, it was still an issue almost 3 months later when we came. So this is the path leading to the ballpark, and they've got a little cutout that's set up for people to get across to the stadium. What we're looking at here with all this water would be the parking lot for the ballpark. It's crazy how this has gotten so deep in the area. And so now the ballpark is almost like it's on an island. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch a game at the island of Modern Woodmen Park. So a quick update, we're waiting for this train to go by. I swear this is like the longest train ever. And it's funny because this is the only way to get to the ballpark because of the flooding around it. One more car. And we're clear. Time to go to the ball game.
I was a little bit worried that this ball game wouldn't be happening, but the folks in Davenport had put forth a lot of effort to ensure that the ballpark could still be used for games.
So these walls here are how they're keeping the floodwaters at bay. The walls are actually at a lower level than the flooding of the river is keeping it from going into the field itself. So they're still able to play these games even with the floodwaters as they are.
It was also really neat because the owner of the home team, Dave Heller, was at the entry area personally greeting fans who came to see the game and thanked them for attending. As the players prepare for tonight's game, fans can take advantage of the selection of rides at the ballpark, including this SBF Visa spinning coaster. I might have ridden a few of these, or a lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. The main reason for coming here, this thing.
The ballpark also has a Ferris wheel, although it was not available for today's game, which may have been due to the flooding.
So we've got the river over on this side looking from the outfield, and you can see how it's up to the fence line over by the scoreboard there, looking right below. This isn't very far, maybe about 5 or 6 feet below the deck, and you can take a look and it's ballpark right on the other side, just outside of the outfield. Here especially is a great view of the water level outside of the ballpark, because you can see the water going alongside and through the fence there. And then over here on the other side, we have the field. But when you really get over closer, you can see where the fence line is actually flooded itself alongside of this berm here. It's incredible that they've made it work out that they could still have ball games here. Because looking on the other side, you have a perfect baseball diamond for a game with some rides.
It was pretty apparent that the field was lower than the level of the Mississippi River, but the fact that they were able to keep the ballpark open in spite of this was pretty amazing.
So if you're sitting here on the berm out in left field, this is your view of the field. Get a great chance to see the ballpark there. But there are a ton of bugs here right now. I wonder if this is in large part because of the river being flooded.
Of course, another reason for coming here besides a roller coaster was to watch a ball game. The stadium itself is a gorgeous facility, as many minor league stadiums around the country have been going through renovations to make them like smaller versions of newer ballparks that you'll find in the major leagues, or they've been building new ones outright. The concourse is open to the field so that you can still keep an eye on the action while waiting for a hot dog or a drink. Tonight, the home team, the Quad City River Bandits, were hosting the Kane County Cougars. Both teams are part of the Single-A Midwest League. The River Bandits are the affiliate of the Houston Astros, and the Cougars with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Several scouts were on hand as well from several teams, including a gentleman who was with the New York Yankees.
So our seats for the game are in section 6, right behind home plate. Great view of the river, the bridge, and the field. You can see a couple of the amusement rides on that side as well.
Batting second, the shortstop, number 1, Jeremy Pena, accompanied by Cole Mann and Spencer Warndle. Batting third, the catcher, number 16, Ruben Castro, accompanied by Miles Powell.
While some will want a classic old hot dog when at the ballpark, I personally wanted to try something different that caught my eye.
So I decided to try the cheesesteak nachos. Saw them at the concession stand and they looked fantastic. Had a woman who said that they are delicious, so we're going to try them out. The cheese that they use is great.
At the end of the night, it would be the home team who prevailed, as the River Bandits won 2-0. Those who stuck around after could celebrate the victory with the post-game fireworks. Thank you for watching this video from Coasting with Culture. If you haven't already done so, please consider clicking that subscribe button down below if you'd like to see future videos. You can also find Coasting with Culture on Twitter and Facebook as well. And of course, for more travel experiences, visit coastingwithculture.com. Until next time, take care and safe travels.